When your program begins to do more and more things, your code must expand beyond the main method. However, in order to do so, you have to construct methods of your own. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a new class and construct methods for that class. Here I am in an empty project. In order to create a new class for your project, go to the Solution Explorer, right-click your project, and select Add, New Item. Select the class option and enter a name for your class. Remember to include the .cs extension. The first thing you may notice about this new class is that there is no default method like before. When you create a new class, it is a basic assumption that you want to write code that will be called by other methods. Note that a main method cannot be called by another class. Before we decide how to construct our methods, let's review our objective. For this class, we want to create the screen that will be displayed when the user selects the first option from the toolbox menu. The screen will provide information on the area of a triangle. This class will be used by another class that handles user input on the menu. I have the first method of this class handy, so I'll pop it in and go over the parts. First, and most importantly, this top line before the curly brackets is what is called the constructor. Every method must have one of these. Here you set the properties of the method and give it a name. What you see here is called a public constructor and is most common. Private constructors cannot be accessed outside of the class, which is impractical in most situations. Where the text changes to black, you can give your method a name, followed by the closed parentheses. Using good naming conventions will ensure that you recognize the purpose of your methods. Most of the time, the closed parentheses will contain nothing. However, you can pass a parameter, which creates placeholder values that get their actual value when the method is invoked. You'll notice that I already have an argument for the code inside the method. If you make private data outside the method, you can use it in as many methods as there are in the class. It is especially useful if you plan to reuse data in multiple methods. Lastly, I always put a comment before my constructor so I can be sure others know what it does. While this code will get your menu doing something when invoked in the correct fashion, I do not like my classes having only one method. Here's another method that allows the user to calculate the area of a triangle with dimensions of his or her choosing. This part is not required for the class, but there is a reason why I bring it up. When making methods, make sure they do not depend on one another. Another class should be able to extract usefulness when they call only one method from another class. If you let your code become a big amorphous mess, it will be harder to test for bugs. Feel free to use this class as a guide to make more classes for your Toolbox project. To end the video, I will show you this class in action. Note that all of the other pieces are already in place.